doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Obiajulo Olabisi Ubo, and as usual, I have the amazing ladies in the building. Nima Akashat Zibiri. Oh, no. Please, which parade are you going to this morning?
Someone that came and was sleeping. At the audience, please.
It's good to sleep. Sleep is medicinal. So I've been a bit under the weather.
Okay.
And so I need to rest.
Tell from your voice.
Yeah. I need to apologize to all the events I had yesterday. I had to cancel by 2. I knew I couldn't make it. So my apologies to the mayoress, Ikosi Sherry LCD. I couldn't turn up for the Ramadan lecture she had at 4. And the Honorable Special Advisor to the Governor on Tourism, Honorable Idris Aregbe. My apologies again. I've seen that he's responded on my WhatsApp. I'm grateful that he understands. I just couldn't. It felt like I would just somersault. I felt that tired. Yeah. So
sorry.
Hope you're going home after the show.
Unfortunately, I couldn't show up at the office yesterday. I have a deadline. So I have to show up today and see to that later. So that once that goes, I can take a break. Briefs are just coming, and it's a good thing. We're searching properties, we're signing deals for them. Now work now. I have an amazing partner.
I know that you're sounding ill, but you're also sounding like the chief. Commander-in-chief of everything.
So this is how this is my real voice. So to get to the good voice, I have to take a lot of hot water and we're fasting.
You're fasting.
So everybody get used to it.
This is strange.
Honestly, it's not the Nima.
This is the bossy voice.
Ramatu?
Yeah.
Shehu Oyibo.
I'm doing well. You know, after the party. Oh, like do now. You know the fasting is doing us basketball small.
Yeah,
some days it will be calm, another day it will be very okay. You know, there's this we need to really pay attention to our customers. I try to buy turarunta, and you know this incense, the same we burn. Yeah, so I try to buy it from another vendor. I have someone that I buy from usually, but I was like, let me try somebody else. So I bought it since Monday. I've not received it. I bought it from Kano, so I'm supposed to have received it the next day. I've not seen it.
From Kano?
From Kano, yes. Monday, I bought it on Monday. By Tuesday, yes. I've bought a lot of things like that, and you get it by the next day. I've not gotten it till now. And I now called the person yesterday. I said, I have not received my item, so is it that, he said, that the thing is coming. I was like, what kind of car did you put it in? Did you put it in a snail car? Don't call it kind of car that will be coming, or what kind of car is it? He started screaming, "Dash, please leave me alone." I now realized that, and I remember that, man, okay, it's fasting period. I should just wait and hold on.
Calm down.
So at least today they said I'll get it. So I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm waiting. Yeah.
Mary, I'm looking at you.
I'm doing amazing. Just say, you know, a friend reached out to me yesterday. He, you know, just to catch up and everything. And I'm just realizing how, you know, in our day-to-day lives, you know, we're constantly chasing whatever it is we're chasing, and we do not keep in touch or in contact with people who are really important to us. And to think that it took such a long time until this person called before the person even dropped in my mind, you know. And so I just want to use the opportunity to say hello to all my friends. Thank you for always keeping in touch. Thank you for the messages and whatever.
Know the answer.
There are a lot of people, and then a few people are also going through some things, and sometimes distance does not allow you to be there for them. But just know that my heart, my thoughts and prayers are with you always.
Amazing. I was at the store a few days ago and I saw a fan who called me out, said he wanted to give me feedback, and he said, anytime you're speaking Igbo, you don't speak your local dialect. You speak the Central Igbo. So Central Igbo is just across the bridge on Onitsha and Asaba. Okay. So I learned theirs because I had stepmothers who came from that side. So anytime I'm conversing with an Igbo person who comes from that side, I speak theirs for them. And I speak theirs here. I don't speak my local dialect. The only time you hear my local dialect is when I'm talking to my dad. Then I said, a lot of us are watching you and you're not representing us. You're speaking another person's dialect because you can speak it. Speak your own. I was like, you people will not hear me. He said, they will hear you. Am I not from your area? I will hear you. Anytime I hear you open your mouth, you're speaking Central Igbo.
So
why?
Minorities are quickly fading. They're going extinct.
Yeah.
So I am speaking the only Sako which I know, which is mine.
Your local dialect.
But the popular one is the Fuga one. Everybody's doing Abba. Okay. I'm not Abba, I'm Abi.
Okay. I'm a Saba. So
speak,
I'll pay.
Speak your own.
Yes,
because
I'll speak
lack
mine
of it,
now.
So there's a difference between the real Igbo and your own. And okay, so who understands?
The Igbo dialects are wide.
My people who understand me. We
Igbo,
understand them. They may not understand some parts of our own. But I'll try. I'll remember. I'll just assume I'm talking to my dad anytime I want to speak Igbo. So I can speak. Yeah, so I can speak my own local dialect. All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll do the newspaper reviews. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, economy looking up, says Tinubu. There's an open letter here. Thank you, Mr. President. Open letter of appreciation to His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, on the takeover and conversion of Nigeria or General Hospital Kumo into a federal medical center. Presidency, APC, El Rufai's defection to SDP inconsequential. Federal government targets investors with new ease of doing business rules. Crude purchase in Naira policy for Dangote orders continues. On ease in rivers as Fubara lawmakers fail to meet. What stories do we have in The Nation?
Take the chairman, technical subcommittee on domestic sales of crude oil and refined products in Naira, Zach Adedeji. He clarified that the Naira for crude oil policy arrangements with local refineries has not been discontinued. As we know, there are stories that have been going all around social media, and he's responding to that. He said that after implementing the policy for some months, evidence abounds that it is the right way to go and it will continue to help the economy. The social media suggestions are untrue. He also said that he says the social media reports are not true. They do not reflect the realities of the ongoing work under the Federal Executive Council Initiative on Domestic Sales of Crude Oil and Refined Products. And so it's very important that Nigerians be careful, of the kind of news that we consume, the sources that we consume them from. And also be careful the sort of stories that we put out there. They said that what they've done so far, has it helping the economy, and the benefits from doing what they're doing with crude oil for Naira and local refineries does not look like this is something that they are going to stop anytime soon. So that's just the matter. What we've heard on social media, not true.
Okay. Any other story in the nation?
Yeah, we have the... Okay. So we have the federal government. They said they target investors with new ease of doing business rules. They said the federal government is fine-tuning regulations that will enhance Nigeria's status as a preferred destination for foreign investors. This was said by the Senator Abubakar Atiku Baguda, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning. He said the government plans to further simplify investment process and improve ease of doing business to make the country more attractive to foreign investors. He also said that the gains of ongoing economic reforms have led to improvement in operational efficiency of government's business. He said there will be additional info. This additional info will provide more clarity for investors and reassure them that Nigeria is open for business. So they're saying that he outlined that the sustained growth in the economy, stability in foreign exchange, improved security, declining inflation, and increased productivity in the oil and gas sector, that the top decisions taken by the government has turned the economy in the right direction. And he's saying that everybody, that they should all come, foreign investors, so that the economy can improve. He ended up saying, we are happy that Nigerians supported the choices that we took. We are confident that the choices have turned our economy into the right direction. So they're saying that Nigeria is viable, can
For
come and
businesses,
invest.
so they can come and invest.
So the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has put in his resignation. He says, as a founding member of the APC, I have fond memories of working with other compatriots to negotiate the merger of political parties that created the APC since 2013. I have hoped that my values and those of the APC will continue to align until I chose to retire from politics. But today, March 10th, I have submitted a letter resigning my membership of the APC to my ward in Kaduna, effective immediately. Before this step, I had concluded consultations with my mentors, colleagues, and loyalists across the country about the future. I have now decided to join the SDP and adopted it as the platform for our future political engagement and activities. And let me leave the rest. So he talked about all the rest, but then the spokespersons to the president, both Daniel Bwala and Bayo Ononuga, have responded that this was expected and it doesn't affect anything. And also predicted that it will be the end of his political career because there's no future for him where he's going
to. Okay, major headline here says economy looking up. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, last night said that the economy has picked up and will continue to get better. According to him, the bold decisions made by his administration, along with the supportive efforts of subnational entities, have produced positive results. So he called for the sustenance of the efforts. He spoke during an iftar breaking of fast with governors, ministers, military chiefs, and other top government officials at the presidential villa in Abuja. And he also said that earlier, when he inaugurated the steering committee of the forthcoming youth conference, he also mentioned the same thing. He said, when we started, it looked so foggy, dicey, and hopeless. We were fetching water from a dry well. But today, the economy has turned the corner. Prices are falling, confidence is improving, and investors are looking in. After the iftar, he also said the governor should remain committed to the collective mission of nation building and economic improvement, which has brought relief to Nigerians. He said quite a number of things, and in some places we hear that the price of food are going down. Other places it has not touched some persons. So we're hoping that before the end of this year we'll see many positive results from what the president has done so far. Let's move on now to Vanguard. Major headline: Rivers, APC factions at war over threats to impeach Fubara. Crude, NNPCL, Dangote renegotiating fresh supply contract. Digital rights, EU, NBA, others tackle federal government over misuse of cybercrime law. I removed fuel subsidy to protect unborn generations. That's according to our president. PDP crisis, Supreme Court reserves judgment on Anyanwu's appeal. Why I dumped APC for SDP El-Rufai. Drama as Obasa changes counsel representing assembly in court. Goings on in the Senate, unfortunate, Abamoro. And 2026 WCQ Super Eagles open camp for Rwanda clash. Which stories do we have in the Vanguard?
There was a bit of drama at the Lagos High Court yesterday before Justice Yetunde Pinero, where they have adjourned sitting to march over the leadership tussle in the House of Assembly Lagos. The speaker, without consulting majority of House members, decided to file a suit changing the representative of the House of Assembly. So Femi Falana, representing the 35 lawmakers, in a suit brought by the speaker himself, contesting his removal as speaker, and the 35 lawmakers represented by Femi Falana. And yesterday they were shocked to see, according to Femi Falana, he said it is not possible, it is not in law that a plaintiff imposes a lawyer on the defendants. And he was surprised to see that they had changed the lawyers to the House. He said he has brief from the 35 lawmakers to represent them. And he was shocked that, this was done. The Speaker of Lagos House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, is contesting the removal that, forced him out of office. But now he's been reinstated as Speaker. And I'm wondering why this matter is still in court if the status quo has already changed and everything has gone back to normal. But then he did another counter move by changing the lawyers without consulting. High-handedness was one of the things
they complained about
before. I'd expect that those are the things that he will change.
Would drop.
Yes.
We'll take a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. So recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym, though. You're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Welcome back. We're still reviewing the Vanguard. Who's ready to go?
Okay, so I have the story of the president saying I removed fuel subsidy to protect unborn generation. They said the president said he removed the fuel subsidy to protect the future of the unborn generation. He said this at the inauguration of the National Youth Congress Planning Committee at the council chambers in Abuja. And he said, and I quote, "I have listened to you carefully. Today is not for long speeches. I just want to reassure you that you are the hope of the country. Everything hangs on your future. Every decision that I have taken is all about tomorrow." And he said, when you remove oil subsidy, you are protecting the future of generations yet unborn, the youth. Where is the investment for the infrastructure? When you listen to majority of professionals talking about Japa. So he said, because if you grow prosperity back home and you empower people, they will not bother to leave. They will stay home. This is your home to develop, build, and make prosper. He said, mine is to help navigate and push and lift the heavyweight problems so I can clear the path for you to have a great future, but it's in your hands. He said, look at me in the face. Tell me whatever you think is wrong and the way you want things done or suggestions. We will try to implement all of it as long as it is for the prosperity of this country. Like the fact that he's really involving the youth in, you know, some of the decisions.
He's having the
that
conversations, the much needed conversations.
Yes, so I like it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, the European Union, the Nigerian Bar Association, and other critical stakeholders in the justice sector yesterday at the session of e-rights training for judges and lawyers on digital rights flayed the rising cases of arrest of citizens over alleged violation of the cybercrime law. So they had different presentations, and one of the things that they talked about is the legal system and the role it plays in the promotion and maintenance of digital rights in the country, with special attention to online security tools that will protect freedom of speech in the electronic spaces. So the different stakeholders that spoke, because there are just so many, the underlying message is that they feel that there's been a lot of arrests, you know, of Nigerian citizens as a result of using the cybercrime law, and they think that it's an abuse that is not used in the right way. It's almost an abuse of that law. That there's a difference between someone's digital rights, which is also human rights, and also the misuse of social media or coming on the internet, and people need to understand that. They're also encouraging lawyers to be able to take up these cases to protect Nigerians. They said that it's very important to protect the rights of Nigerians, and that in this country the political system is failing to be accountable to Nigerians and the constitution, so lawyers need to take up cases like this. And they said that we expect that in a democracy, rights of citizens should be respected. We expect that every foundation of democracy is the ability of people to express themselves freely, whether online or offline. And you know, they just also talked about the organizing body was Avocats Sans Frontières, that is Lawyers Without Borders, and this is their way of just helping to encourage, to bring awareness, and to train on digital rights of citizens.
Okay, let's move on now to the leadership. Yes. Major headline: ahead of 2027, PDP Labour Party caged as opposition coalition eyes SDP. El-Rufai takes first shot, joins party. Won't lose sleep over his exit, APC. Arigbeshola, Malami, Adamu, others may follow. Atiku hesitant, fear supporters' reaction. Crude for Naira, federal government counters NNPC, says policy still in place. Lombardy agreements will enhance FCT's growth, this according to Wike. Resign within 48 hours or be impeached, APC tells Fubara. US government ends 83% of USAID programs. Israel cuts off electricity supply to Gaza. Lassa fever death toll hits 98. Leadership.
Okay, so let me take the Gaza story.
Okay.
So Saif Magango, spokesperson for the UN Human Rights Office, says that with the recent cutting off of electricity to Gaza by the Israelis, you know, is putting the Gaza people at a very high risk. It says fuel being blocked, Gaza remaining water, desalination plants blocked, healthcare facilities and bakeries are all at risk of this cutoff because there's no alternative to powering them because of what the Israel is doing right now. Israel also has done a food blockade on food, medicine, fuel, and shelter to Gaza, and this is the 9th day that this is happening, and creates a very dangerous situation in the Gaza Strip. So Gaza relies on 2 primary sources for electricity, and they're all from Israel and companies based in Israel. Very sad.
Wow. Okay, so I have this story. Remember that President Donald Trump signed an executive order in January demanding a freeze on all U.S. foreign aid to give his administration time to assess overseas spending with an eye to gutting programs not aligned with America's first aid agenda. So on Monday, the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said that the United States was canceling 83% of programs at the U.S. Agency for International Development. It said that after 6 weeks review, they are officially canceling 83% of the programs at USAID. And they said this on their social media platform, that's platform X. The 5,200 contracts that are now cancelled, they said they spent $10 of billions, you know, and the programs did not serve. In some cases, it even harmed the core national interests of the United States, according to them. So they said that USAID had already distributed U.S. humanitarian aid worldwide with health and emergency programs in around 120 countries. And the State Department, which oversees USAID, announced February 28th that they had an intention to cut 92% of the agency's program funding. And they identified 5,800 grants to be eliminated, but now they've cut it down to 83%. Okay, God bless them. They have tried. Any other story in the leadership? Okay, Tribune. Nigerian Tribune. Major headline: Gunmen attack 4 Ondo communities, 20 feared killed, 14 bodies recovered, according to police source. Federal government stays within legal borrowing limits despite economic challenges, Bagudu, Minister of Budget. Natasha Ezekwesili wants Akpabio to step aside, Barrow to preside over urgent Senate session. So they want ICPC to take over alleged sexual harassment probe. Court orders Senate President others to file defense in Natasha's suit. Naira for crude policy remains in place. Adedeji chairman technical subcommittee. They said over 48 million barrels of crude oil supplied to Dangote in 6 months. This is according to the NNPCL. Rivers APC orders Fubara to resign within 48 hours or face impeachment. Student halts vehicular movement on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway protesting disappearance of LASU graduate. El-Rufai joins SDP, hints at more defections to challenge APC. What stories do you have in the Tribune?
Former Minister of Education and prominent activist Dr. Obi Ezekwesili has called the Senate to reverse the suspension of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and to investigate allegations of sexual harassment against him. This, she took to her Twitter handle, her X handle, to talk about this. She urged the Senate to take immediate corrective action and ensure justice is served. She also demands that the Senate President Akpabio step aside while Deputy Senate President Barrow Jibril presides over an urgent Senate session to rescind the Akpoti-Uduaghan suspension. She says that, she says that. Senator Natasha must resume her duties as a duly elected senator representing her Kogi Central constituency and receive the fair hearing due to her within Senate processes. She urged Senate to initiate an independent investigation into the allegations against Akpabio. She says ICPC actually should oversee the probe, given that sexual harassment falls under the corrupt practices it's empowered to investigate. She said that the committee should receive testimony and evidence from both senators before presenting its findings to the Senate plenary for debate and appropriate referral to the Attorney General. She also urged the Senate and House of Reps to work with women's rights groups, the Nigerian Bar Association and Nigeria Police to review laws and policies preventing sexual and gender-based violence. She says National Assembly must partner with women in Nigeria groups and other relevant stakeholders to identify barriers and gaps, develop reforms, and implement specific action plans on a fast-track timeline, and so on and so forth. We get the general gist of it. And also, just in addition, we have the Ariwa group who are threatening to block Lokoja-Kaduna highway if suspension is not lifted within 48 hours. They're asking the president to call the Senate president to order. And they were saying that if not for the northern northern support, the Senate president would not have been elected to that office. And this is it's showing like a bias towards the north. That how do you take a senator, suspend the senator for that long? They think it's just an abuse of power, and they're asking the president to look into it. But there's also a court case, as we know, and they said the court has adjourned the suit against Akpabio and others till March 25th. So,
Okay. Any other story in the Tribune?
Okay, so I have the Lassa fever, they said Lassa fever now is at large, so we have to be very careful. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention has emphasized the growing urgency for Nigerians to maintain rodent-free environments and enhance personal hygiene amid the ongoing Lassa fever outbreak. They said that they are breaking down the figures. The DG revealed that as the period under review, Nigeria has recorded 2,728 suspected cases and 535 confirmed cases. So we need to be very careful. And we know Lassa fever comes from rodents and all of that in the house. So please, let's be watchful and be careful.
All right, that's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we go to our special feature. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Live. Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show. Give for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now. His name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, but do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer,
you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils there.
That woman.
Damn. Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment with Pure Entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. Eje can close the show, Father.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining us on the show is the co-founder and managing director of Extra Large Farms and Group of Companies, Dr. Mrs. Moji Davids. Welcome to the show. I'm seeing this beautiful cake. Yes. And you're wearing pinky something. What's it about?
Celebrating women.
Yeah.
She brought us a nice
and I'm proud to be a tool, a vessel that God uses to empower women all over the world.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So, Extra Large Farms. What do you have for us today?
Yeah, you know we're always coming with good news. And for the sake of those who are watching us for the first time, first let me say Happy Women's Day to all of you. And this is a little gift from Extra Large Farms to the hot ladies on.
Wow.
By the way, where's Mariah?
She's resting.
She needs it. She needs it. She needs it. So we are farmers, we are food producers, and we are healthy living advocates at Extra Large Farms. And we're also into agri-tourism. We are promoting tourism through agriculture. We're in a new apparel for agriculture in Nigeria and making it possible for people to be able to have another kind of holiday in a very different environment, which is in the biggest luxury farm resort in Nigeria, which is Extra Large Farms. But not only about the tourism, like I said, we're into food production. Like all of you also have food gifts from Extra Large today.
Yeah. Wow.
We're also we're going to leave a carton that's 10 pieces of our premium brand product, which is the Extra Large. We're going to leave that with you to give to your best followers. And it must be women. Sorry if I'm sounding like a feminist. It's our mom. Our mothers were celebrating.
Exactly.
So I remember last year we were here. I was here last year for the Women's Day celebration as well, and there was this Women's Empowerment Summit we had last year talking about, what can you do as a woman? Don't say there is no money in Nigeria. It's only a blind man that will say that there is no money in Nigeria. There is money in this country. Okay. You only need to open your eyes and see how to tap it. And Extra Large is giving you about 21 different ways, streamed out of agriculture, food business, health, healthy living business, and tourism. So we brought people over to the farm. We had the summit, it was a very nice one and all that. And then we have testimonies showing after that. One of them is here today. Maybe after the show, she would just say something. And I remember on one of the days, in just one day, she made like $500,000 naira in commission, and it's not anything you need any money to start. So those are the type of things that we're talking about today. There are a lot of opportunities I'm going to quickly share out this morning, but I need them to take this number down because it's always a problem. We didn't get that number. So please take this number now. You will need it. 2 numbers, hot numbers you need this morning. 081 only on WhatsApp. 081 71 60 6021 081 71 606021. You're going to send a message to that number on WhatsApp. And then the second one that you can actually call 070 88 070-496478. I take that slowly again. 070-8849-6478. Number one opportunity as we are celebrating women. This year, we want to raise 10,000 women who by next year will be able to say, my husband, don't worry about the bills, I can take care of that. You know, your child is going abroad for studies and everything. I got it covered. You know, it's your husband's birthday and you can just spend. I got you. You know, a car, a very luxurious car is waiting outside, and that's your gift. Those are the type of women that we want to build, and we are building every day at Extra Large. But how can we make that happen? Number one, this weekend, just this Saturday, we're going to have a 2 days retreat. So normally we do have it like on an everyday basis, you know, but we discovered that 1 day is not enough. So this time around, we're camping the people, not only the women. So if you are the husband of a woman or you're a brother of a woman, you shall have a woman in your life. You're also qualified because of that woman. So what are we doing? For 2 days, we're together in at the Extra Large Farms and Resorts, and we're talking about opportunities that can fetch you money from home. You don't have to report anywhere. You don't need to have any special skills. You know, just leveraging on what you do already, the things you know about already. You have a mobile phone, you can talk. You know, we're going to be teaching people opportunities of how they can make good money in agric tourism, how they can start up their own food business. Like this year, we're opening 200 wellness centers. So when we talk about wellness centers, there are centers where we just take care of people's health only with food. So you have any health issue or whatever, we are not going to prescribe any drugs. We're just going to tell you foods. And these are everyday foods that you don't really, you just don't pay attention. You know, you just don't pay attention to them, but we're going to be telling you. You can imagine blood sugar level dropping for like 400 to 100, you know, within a space of like 2-3 weeks, just with food. These are things you see in the market. So we're going to be teaching people that and how to make millions of money, just helping people get better, helping people to secure very beautiful holidays for them and their families, for their corporates and all that. We're teaching them that this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So number one, you're interested in that. It's an empowerment summit. It's for 2 days, and it's also a luxury getaway holiday, because we will not just be doing empowerment.
You take a tour of the place,
hang out, enjoy ourselves. We see a movie at night. We go to the movies. We eat good food. We party, but we also know what we're doing. You know, to be financially empowered. This particular one I'm talking about costs 500,000. You know, for people who want to join. But this morning, because you know, Extra Large is always focused on empowering people, we are not going to take 500,000 from the TVC people.
Your view.
I have a special spot for your viewers. So you're interested in attending that event, you will only pay 10% confirmation fee, which is just 50,000. Which covers your 2 days luxury holiday, the conferencing, and the certificate is going to be issued to you even after the program. Then we're going to work together. I want you to be our testimony by next year when we're coming back here for the Women's Day again. We want to say, oh, these hundreds of 1,000, how many people have made so remarkable progress in their lives just because they plugged in with Extra Large. So send a message right now. You love to be interested in that. Send the women's retreat. It's happening this Saturday. And all you need to do is just pay 50,000 as against the 500,000. All right. Send women's retreats to 08171 60.
We should have the number on the screen.
6021. It's not on the screen.
Yeah, they will put it.
Okay, so they'll put it before we end. Then the second one. So Extra Large Farms, we own the biggest luxury farm resort in Nigeria and probably in the whole of Africa.
With your full chest, please.
Yeah. Well done. Like this. Yes. You know, we're coming up. We're rising up every day to be the best that we can, and we're giving people the opportunity to co-own this resort with us. How amazing is that? Just imagine that you own a resort by yourself. You know, yes, it's a farm resort. Yes, all the amenities, waterfall, animal rides, horse riding, camel. You know, I know that you have a very fantastic integrated farm system there that you can visit. There's a place for children to play. There's a wellness center. There's a spa. There's cinema. Everything with very, very top-notch luxury accommodation. And you are privileged to be a part owner. How do I mean? So we're giving people the opportunity to, number one, own a property in this resort. So it's your house and it's yours for life. So this morning we have a very beautiful package for women or anybody associated to a woman. And I think we're giving that to just 20 people, and we're giving them a whooping 2 million naira bonus this morning as we celebrate the International Women's Day. What are we giving them? You have the opportunity to own this property. We have the 2-bedroom, for example, selling for 50 million naira.
Okay.
You know. And then once you finish paying for your house, we will be maintaining and taking care of the house on your behalf, but we'll be letting it out to holiday makers as they visit the resort.
Yeah.
And you're earning on a daily basis. Imagine you making like a 150,000 per night on a property you own in a resort, and you, the owner yourself, you want to come for your holidays, you're very free to do that.
Wow.
So somebody is interested in that as well, just send my house.
Okay, so let's hold you a minute. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, you continue.
Thank you.
Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, unavailable by David featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say a recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they're for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person you see? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam! Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay tuned to TVC Entertainment for Pure Entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been
Welcome back. So we still have extra large farms here, and they're giving us opportunities on how people can make money. We're talking about the co-ownership before we went on a short break. Can you elaborate?
So I was saying that you can actually own a house in the resort. It's yours for life, but we maintain and manage it for you. and we give it out on shortlets, to holiday makers as they visit the resort, and you make money on every stay, without having to bother about how the house is maintained or not. So that plan is coming at 15 million naira for the house, excluding furnishing as well. But this morning you want to start up, you're interested, we can do a video to and all that for you, but you're interested, you need a deposit of 5 million naira. But on your initial deposit, immediately you make your commitment, we're going to give you this special Women's Day bonus. If you're getting a 3-bedroom, we're giving you 2 million naira. If you're getting a 2-bedroom, we're giving you 1 million naira instant bonus in this month of March as we celebrate women. So only 20 people are eligible for this. 20 fastest fingers. I'm interested. Just send home ownership. Send it to that number 081-7160-6021, or you can visit our website at homes.agritechcity.com. agritechcity.com. All right. But for the third option, we're also giving people the opportunity to either be a franchise dealer of our food products, and be financially empowered with that. So you have a business. Yes, our natural food products. We have about 21 different products to our name, to the glory of God at the moment, and they're selling not only in Nigeria, all across the world. For example, we're having a UK summit in the United Kingdom on the 28th of March. If you're here, you're listening from the UK, please give us a call. You will get the buffet summit, for that matter. So you can be a franchise dealer. We can open a wellness center for you if you don't have an existing office place and all that. And all these opportunities, you can start with as low as 100,000 naira, and you are making. You're not only making money, but you're also making impact in the lives of people. So these opportunities are so numerous. You only need to send us a message or give us a call so that you can get full information about everything. But most importantly, this weekend, like I said, Saturday the 15th of March, 16th to Sunday, it's 2 days of serious impact of capacity building for people, not only women, but everybody that is interested in moving their lives to the next phase, becoming certified tourism agents with extra large, becoming certified wellness coach, with extra large, just with foods, like I said. And then how can you lay your hands on agric business? What can you do? I'll be telling a story of how we started about 18 years ago, how rough. People don't like to talk about that rough part. But that's what makes you, that's what builds you. I remember at a time, during our farming early years, we had to choose between paying salaries or paying our children's school fees for many months. And I said, okay, children, you will just have to stay at home for now. Because you are my children. I can explain to you, but all these many people, they have families that I remember also at a time, we were doing the farming and all that, it was growing, but the money, in farming is not the day you start farming that you start making the money. I had to start doing some other things, e-commerce and all that, to just put body and soul together, So people need to know these real things. People need to hear the stories. Consistency is what gets you there. Persistency. You have to be rugged. You have to be focused. What do you do when things look like they are not working the way you want it to be? All these stories you have to hear, not only from myself, but other people, within the community who have been able to make a name for themselves, and are doing pretty well. If 50,000 is the barrier between you and the place you are going, I think
you forgot to mention patience. Because
so just send women's retreat, like I said, men can come. So if you're coming with your spouse, that would be 100,000. This is valued at 500,000. I'm not joking about that. But because of this Women's Day celebration, we just want to get a lot of people empowered. Last but not the least, we have a special job offer this morning for 10 sharp ladies.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm saying lady. Don't worry, when I come next week, I'll talk about men. 10 sharp ladies this morning. You are in need of a job.
Okay.
You went to school. You have maybe your OND or HND or BSc, whatever, and you know you can work. We're giving you just 10, please. Just send job offer also to that, to any of those numbers. And we will give you an opportunity. Fastest fingers. 10. We'll give you an opportunity to be on.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moji. Dr. Mrs. Moji Davids, thank you so much. You finished your money. You used it well.
I'm telling you, you should be more allowed to ask
but we're happy with the opportunities that you're giving to people out there. You're doing amazing. Business is supposed to impact lives. So it's not just about making money. It's about helping other people to make money and get to their destiny as well. And then the blessings will go around. So thank you so much for being on the show, sharing with us.
So much.
We'll take a short break now. When we come back, the show continues. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jammies. So
By 280 or 320. I suppose don't be one better.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now. His name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils.
That woman.
Bam! Bam! Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment with Pure Entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam. So
By 280 or 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. Eje can close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, at number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym, though. You're getting fat.
Thanks for staying with us. So we saw a scary message on social media where a woman came out. She was crying out that her boyfriend of 5 years now has been sending sexual messages to her daughter, who's about to turn 10. According to her, she says that the boyfriend had come into her life when the daughter was 5 years old and saw the daughter growing up as a young girl. So it was shocking for her daughter to come report to her that he's been sending her sexual messages, scary messages, and that she's spoken to the family members about it. Some of them are sort of supporting this particular boyfriend, but she doesn't care anymore. She wants everything to scatter. And I looked through the messages, like it was so scary for me. I wanted to read and see what was happening. One of the messages says, he was inviting the girl to come and lie down with him. And the girl says, you want me to lay in there with you? And he says, he was asking, you want me to lay in there with you or you are fine? The girl says, I'm fine. And he says, okay, I'm just bored. I hate when mommy go to work and I have nothing to do at all. Used a foul language there. And then she replies, I'm watching TikTok looking for things to do. He now says, like fun stuff. He said, yeah, do you ever get head before? And she says, why? He said, just asking. The messages are not, in fact, I don't even have to read them out here, but it was really, really scary. And she went ahead to say, no, I don't want to because it will make me feel uncomfortable. I'm only 10 years old. I'm not fully an adult, so no. And he replies, it's not going to make you feel uncomfortable. You're going to be doing it soon. But okay, I'll leave you alone. I'll just let mommy know you are watching nasty stuff. So the conversation has been going on and on and on while he's trying to groom the girl into doing sexual stuff with him, and the girl is resisting and had to go report. In fact, the matter, it tire me, but I want to know the thoughts of the ladies first of all when you saw this story, and also how you think we can begin to preserve our children against some of these predators who are with us, like almost family members, boyfriends, uncles, aunties, and the likes. But let's start with your thoughts on this.
There's a reason why the Child Rights Act makes it a strict offense, meaning that I didn't know does not exonerate a perpetrator. So, for instance, if a girl is quickly developed, you know, at 12, some people already have all their body, not be like us who will dry those days, but you know, some children develop fast. And then you come and say to the court, in case of a sexual offense charge, that I didn't know she was 12, she looks 18. It doesn't exonerate you, it's a strict offense. Lack of knowledge of the age of the girl doesn't excuse you. You ought to know the sexual partner that you have, that level of maturity before you do that. In one of the chats, you will see that he's saying to the girl that I won't do anything to you without your permission. Meaning that if a 12-year-old were to consent to sex because of exposure, maybe through phones and all of that, you go climb them. Hi. Fear no go catch you. You know, that kind of thing. And so that area of consent is something that I want to use to warn people. It's the fastest way to end up in jail. And sometimes in life sentences, if the girl were to end up dead because of further post-cover-up activities like an abortion, or even death while trying to have a baby. Once when I was in hospital 8 years ago, there was a 16-year-old girl brought from Anambra to the hospital. She was fully pregnant, and she does not have the cervix to push that baby. So it was an emergency case. They rushed her down. Maternal and Child Care Center in Lagos, amazing job they did. They quickly moved her in for CS because, you know, with the consent. And it was found that it was a relative's abuse. Because I saw her mom, it was the family were very, you know, very kind of quiet around her. So when they left her, we were on bed rest. We covered up the girl, asking her, why are you in this state? You're such a child and everything. And she said it was, you know, that they're saying she seduced an in-law. And so, you know, some of these funny things that happen, thank God we have laws that has not taken, when I'm talking about position and advantage of one person in a sexual offense, people don't get it. If you're much older, you're more mature, you're in an advantageous position such that you're an authority, power, a lecturer, a parent, an uncle, a provider, you have the power to say no, to end it. The other person can't just be able at the time. And so when they are proving such a case against you and you're coming with excuses of somebody's witch hunting you because of your position, you must be stupid. It happens in the IDP camps where mothers are being called prostitutes when they have to prostitute to get food for their children. When somebody in authority should be giving them their rights in the food that they are brought to the camp is saying to them, I will give you, come back in 2 days, come back in 3 days, 2 weeks, you know what to do. And then tomorrow, they were adults, they were consenting adults. You know, when you have used one arm or one thing or the other to force them into, and their vulnerability to accepting something that they would ordinarily not do. Everybody, not be everybody where you see for streets, they prostitute voluntarily. And some people know what they are doing when and then they come around and twist the cases. You know, these are some of the things that we're talking about. This person has not only been able to win the trust of family, of the mom and the girl in question. So the conversation, you see the way the chat was leading her on. Tomorrow, at the end of the day, you say that a 10-year-old seduced you. He led you. No, now you they lead and go where you don't they groom am now. It's called grooming. You're telling her to give her sexual pleasure. Some people call it play. They will be grooming the child, calling it play. There was a girl that the case broke. The girl was saying, I like that play Uncle something used to play with me. To the mom. And I'm just grateful for this mom because the pressure is already coming as we expect. And she's saying, just be grateful you are not with them. Because you see some mothers be supporting them and be saying, casting their daughters out. You know, what do you think?
Reading the story, I must commend the mom. The mom did a very good job raising that child because at 10, with the smartness that she exhibited, man, that's kudos to the girl and all. Because and the fact that the mother took the stand up, as in she was supporting her own daughter is just is amazing. Honestly, I'm really impressed because I've seen where a lot of times when something like that happens, most times the mothers always take the side of the boyfriend. And they always, you know, in fact, at some point they will even send the girl out of the house. So for this one, she's ready to forfeit the relationship and let that relationship go. That's very, very, I love that. Yeah, so I love that, the fact that she's doing that. And, you know, first of all, I'm trying to find out where the problem is from. Is it that the girl was given phone early? But even if the girl wasn't given a phone, I think he will have gone to talk to her physically, verbally, and then, and then there will not be any evidence. I'm sure she will tell her mom, and the mom will not even agree. Then at the same time, I'm trying to figure out where as in was she exposed to social media so early? Because the girl totally understands
everything the guy was trying to say.
So that means the mother taught her, you know, the right things, you know, like sex education, and she was able to know that this guy is crossing his boundaries. So I'm trying to find out trying to see where, you know, where the fault of the mother is. And you know, it comes to where it just boils down to the fact that sometimes I'm like, when a woman wants to go on into, like, when you have children, the thing that you always put into consideration is the fact that when divorce is going to happen in marriage, what you think about is when you go with young children, you know you are going to be in love with somebody. You just be wondering if that person you can trust that person enough to leave your kids, because that person will want to come in like a father to those kids. And sometimes they are not really sincere. They're not really sincere. So most times, a lot of people, like for me, my kids, I don't even allow them close to uncles. You know, I don't even want stories that touch at all. Uncles. One of my my younger cousin came to the house, and you know, he brought out his hand and he was telling my daughters to come and hug, and my daughters were looking at him like this. They were like, Kuzo. The guy was just, Kuzo could get a cousin. They refused. You know, and then later on, one of my daughters went and met him and said, "No, mommy said we should not hug." It starts like that. Sometimes some parents even tell their daughters, "Don't sit on anybody's laps," because it starts from there. Yeah. So I like the fact that the mother really did a good job and all. So the guy should at least face the law. I've seen another video where the daughter went to stay with his brother. The daughter went to stay with his brother, and then, you know, she came back with blood stains around her. So then
her own brother?
The father's, that's her uncle.
Okay.
So she came back with blood stains, and then the father asked her what happened. Mainly he saw the blood stains. He didn't even wait for her to explain anything. He went to that house and he killed his brother. Straight up. I saw that story. I think
it was an Italian, Abi?
Yes, I think it was America. Yeah, so I think they sentenced him.
Even in court itself, one jump.
People were like,
he jumped from the dock into and punched the guy in the middle of court. The two of them were double sentenced. Honestly, so provocation sustained.
Yeah, it's really a sad situation, you know. And the thing is, this is as old as time, and it does not look like it will ever go away. There will always be evil people amongst us. There will always be people who will take advantage of the vulnerable amongst us. And then we just pray that in raising our children, we raise them to be aware, to be confident in protecting themselves, and that we make ourselves available for our children to be able to speak to us. You know, you both covered, you know, most of the part, but the part I also like to cover is the fact that there was a mention of being by herself, watching TikToks, nothing to do, you know, things like that. This is something I'm, you know, learning about, this allowing our children to be on their own in a way that, okay, so there's TV, there are gadgets and all these things, but there's no human communication as such. You know, we need to do a lot more in being present in our children's lives, especially when they're growing up. You know, we feel like, thank God now I have some time for myself. But there are many pre-teens to teenagers. One of the things that when you sit to talk to them is that they don't feel that they're getting enough time with their parents. You know, I know that life is hard and life is tough. We're running out, we're trying to make ends meet, we're trying to do things, but we need to create time for our children, the time where they know that they can speak to us about anything. I don't know what sort of relationship that mother and this child have worked on, but obviously this is a girl that knows that she can talk to her mother about something. And we don't also know how long these conversations have gone on, because he knew that the child had been consuming porn. And he said, I'm going to report report you
to your mom.
You know, and she says, I don't do that anymore. Meaning he's aware of something, so there should not be anybody that knows something secretive or special or different that you do not know about your child. Don't give any evil person an opportunity to think that they have a special kind of relationship with your child. You are the one that has that, should have that sort of relationship with your child. I know that there are some parents that have worked really hard, but the devil is just constantly walking around, you know, waiting for when you slip a bit so that they put their head. So there's prayer definitely, but we need to empower our children. Unfortunately, we need to start them younger. When we were younger, some of these things that they convert, we did not know. We didn't see anything. It was far away from us. But now they know so much. The knowledge is there, but so we have to guide them. Okay, now you know this. These are the sort of things that is happening. How would you handle it? If this was to happen, how would you handle it? Show them the stories of how children have been lied to or, you know, cornered into doing something. Children, it's so easy to get children to do things by saying to them, I will not play with you. I will tell your mother, or I will kill your parents. Sometimes these children think that they are protecting their family because they are, you know, and find themselves in situations like that. So the important message here is be your child's the number one person. Talk to your child. Let your child know that they can talk to you and they can trust you. And then when you stand up for your child, the power that you have given that child and the power you've given yourself for life. Because we've had situations where your child would tell you something, the adults there, they know, they have the words to express themselves. A child may not even be able to express to you how they feel or what has happened. They'll just let you know that they were uncomfortable. But the adult has all the words, and they are more likely to turn your attention, make you feel like that person is just saying things or just saying things. But please pay attention to your child. You know your child more than anyone. Stand up for your child in front of the adult. Let the child know that you are standing. You can stand up for that child
in front of
anyone. No one will intimidate you or stop you from supporting your child and standing for your child. That's important as well.
We'll take a short break here. When we come back, this conversation continues. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and for my jammies. So
By 280 or 320. I suppose don't be one
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show. I can go. I can. That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, Father.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musiki.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, but you know one thing that's actually keeping me back? You should start the gym to get fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference? There's a difference.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No, sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some spoils there.
That woman.
Damn! Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
And so we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Welcome back. We're still having this conversation of a man who's trying to sexually molest a minor and, you know, trying to groom and lead her on till the mother had to stand up for the daughter. I've heard all of you and I like your different perspectives on the matter. And like Miriam rightly said, this has been happening for as long as anybody can remember. I've seen situations whereby the mother would finally drive the child out of the house. You are the one that wants to come and collect my new boyfriend. I've even seen a case where it's the father that is doing the molesting and sexually abusing, and the mother will side with the father and drive the child out of the house, that you are trying to seduce your father and take my husband from me. But I'm happy that this woman was able to see clearly that I'm not going to take this. I don't care about this relationship, and even your family members, everybody can, you know, go and dive. But there's something I also realized, that sometimes some people come to the house and your child runs away from them. And we, in our, this person is my person, my friend, my family member, go and greet this uncle now. Why are you running away from this uncle now? And the child keeps running away from that person. No, I don't want to see this person. It's a red flag. You should find out why exactly this particular child does not want to see this adult. That's on one hand. Also, we've talked about being present in our children's lives, right? But I also want to, I don't know how we're going to do it in such a way that people are still able to do their work and leave their children. You can't stay with them all the time. I remember my growing up. In the morning, everybody don't come out. They come back in the night. Only God knows, we would have gone to different places. We have played the kind of play we're not supposed to play and all of that. But at the end of the day, adults would do the work that they need to do if they are going to survive, right? And also provide, you know, with food, shelter, clothing, and everything. But how do we balance it in such a way that even if you are going out there hustling and you're leaving your child alone, that your child is somewhat protected, your child is somewhat aware that if anything happens, there's somebody they can easily call, there's a neighbor they can easily shout. You know, how do we do that so that we don't pause our lives because we are raising children, especially when the economy is not economying? Do you get me? So how do we balance it?
Even more dangerous are parents who are there and don't care.
That's another one.
That one breaks my heart. I see it too often, too many times. I'm a parent who, I don't sleep with my two eyes closed. Since the day I had children. I hear a noise, I attend to that noise. I hear silence, I attend to the silence. If we reach, I don't hear you again, I go find them. On Saturday, my mother-in-law was surprised. She told me my son said he was going to the poultry because he's interning at the poultry. And
this boy has been through a lot.
Everything he goes to poultry. I don't know why. I've told him, if you break egg there, just know that I will take from your piggy bank. So he went, and I said, I don't think he went to poultry because I had gave him standing order. You have the permission to go to certain places, but before you leave this compound, Mommy, I'm going.
Okay.
I can even get angry and say, don't go today. I'm the ultimate power, everything, final power in this house. And he says, okay, ma. And so that day, I just came out, the silence was there. I saw only my mother-in-law sitting. I said, where are you picking? She said, something just, and you know, whenever your instincts tell you, that was how I saw him, and the dog had beaten him when he was looking for his cat. My instinct just said, he's not here, he's not, you follow your instinct. So I went, I got to the poultry, not dead here. I saw him at his mama's house taking Fanta while he's saying he's fasting. I went to look for him. When I got there, Papa said, I thought you said you are going for the evening. I said, no, just leave me. Let me just be watching this boy. Me and you in this compound. You know, you check your child. You must be an attentive parent. Your child is crying. Why is it your neighbor who is attending to your child? If your child is wounded, why is it your neighbor? And you have the patience to say, no, I'm a busybody, I leave the problems for the neighbor. The day that person decides to be like you, there'll be a problem. My compound is big and my kids have toys and bikes. I see the kids who come there to play. I don't want their noise. I don't want to be bothered about other people's children. The only thing I'm leaving them is because I know I've created a safe space for my kids and they are benefiting from it.
Yeah.
So you as a mom, your child plays in somebody's house 24/7 and you don't know that person. We had to bounce a child off the compound. Sometime my husband stood against him, my mother-in-law too, because we never saw the child's parents and they played in the compound for over a year. When I was growing up, my mother would say, it's because of my child, I don't know what's interesting in your house. That's why we have become friends. I have become friends with a lot of neighbors because my kids will be friends with them. You are supposed to, as a parent, find out the place where your child feels so safe and why they are safe, because they might not just be in safe places, they are being groomed and you don't know it. You don't know it. My late friend I talked about that died last year, one of her child was a sexual addict. And she had to leave them because her husband just abandoned the family and go and hawk food. So she would leave them, then one was 12, the other one was 14. She was dealing with, the 12-year-old was a sex addict at 21. Wow. And how did it happen? Uncle that was always there was playing porn for the kids and they will be quiet there. They had been groomed not to even tell mommy. Whenever she comes in at night, we're just with uncle, we watch film. She never asks which film. Yeah. So the most dangerous ones are those parents who think it's not my headache, it's my neighbor's headache. It's not my business, the child is, it should be the neighbor. Whose neighbor? Who the sister they born you and your child, you and her together, it can be a danger. You just talked about an uncle. You cannot just be lax. The lax parents are the worst kind of parents.
Yeah, so true. Let's take this call. Chief Kalu from Ikeja. Good morning, Chief Kalu. Chief Kalu, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning.
We can hear you, sir.
Like it or not. Good morning, all.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. Hello.
Listen to you. Listen to the phone, sir, not the TV.
Hello. Hello.
We can hear you, sir. Just listen to the phone and not the TV. The TV is delayed.
Whether we like it or not, we condemn it, and Bible condemn it, even Quran condemn it. Whether we like it or not. Hello.
We are listening.
He has to go. He couldn't really get what.
Yeah, so like in trying to curb this, that's why most times when you discuss with some northern people, they'll tell you that that's the reason why, you know, they marry out their daughters early, at least to avoid this kind of things. And marrying your daughter very early again comes with consequences. It comes with its own consequences. That is why most times in the north you see the homes, they call them bashiga, so strictly for women. You understand? So if they see a man coming in, if a man goes into that bashiga, that means he's looking for something, you know, he's looking for something where he's not supposed to be. He's not supposed to be in that environment at that point in time. So he has brought problem for himself. So that way they are able to reduce that, not that it's not there, it exists definitely, but they have been able to reduce that, you know, sexual molestation at that early stage. But then they now marry early. They marry as early as, you know, 11, 12, 10. Some of them get married that early. They believe that once you do your period, your first period at home, the next one will be done in your husband's house. And that's where most times the women will now, the little girls will now get pregnant, and VVF is very common in that kind of area. No? So at the end of the day, they will now, you know, those kind of things that happen, at the end of the day, it will now become a big problem in their marital homes as well. I remember there was this my former, like somebody like, he used to drive us a lot, and the girl got married at the age of 12. So every time the girl will go out to go and play, she will go out and go and play 10-10. Yeah. The husband, he married her, she came in as the fourth wife. She will go out to go and play 10-10, and he will call her and say, it's time for you to cook. It's time for you to come and do this. She was already saddled with a lot of responsibility at that age.
As a child.
She's just a child. At the end of the day, she gave birth, and she had this VVF. And at the end, he now divorced her because she was, the VVF, smelling, she couldn't take care of herself and all of that. So what I'm just trying to say is, at the end of the day, we are trying to run away from something, and then we are now in another thing. Problems. So I don't even know how.
No, so we need to talk about the place of education. You know, this is a problem that you have described, but I know that it's a situation that, you know, many people, individuals, government, corporations are handling massively. Yes, I'm sure maybe in like deeper, in more rural areas, maybe this still happens. But I know that the country as a whole, this is something that we are fighting against, the VVF awareness programs. We've seen that many times. So for me, that is a whole different issue. That girl-child marriage is a no-no. There's no justification for it. There's no rationalization. There's no, because we're trying to keep you, protect you from sexual molestation. Then I take you straight into serious sexual abuse. You know, is just wrong. But just for the sake of this conversation we're having here, I feel that it's a different one. We're talking of people that you have entrusted to protect your child, to take care of your child, and they are within your circle, and they have found ways to, you know, betray your trust and destroy a child's life. You ask the question that how do we be parents doing other things while protecting our children, because we cannot be with them 24/7. The sad thing about modern day parenting is the way we are raising our children. We have to be their all and all. We used to have a community. When they say it takes a village, we used to have a village. We are not meant to raise our children just by ourselves. We can't afford to do that. We don't have, we're not physiologically, mentally wired to do that. We need help. So what happens now is that we now have to build support groups. But in your support circle or your support group, you have to be careful. But you know the thing about this, whatever is, as you mentioned, even a father has been caught doing this. A mother has been caught. So sometimes in the end, you now look at God and your child. Teach anyway. I believe that we're talking to mothers who care, fathers who are not this way. The important thing is, in this day and age, you cannot be everything for everywhere at the same time. That's why you need to give them information. They need to know what is what they can accept and what they cannot accept. And whenever they are uncomfortable, they need to know that they can come to you. I like what you said about parents when we're there but we're not there. You are available. You have decided I'm not working because I need to be home more. But you are not there. Even you know that you're not completely there. And that is so wrong. We need to really give these children presence and our attention. This TV, social media, it has taken the world by a storm. The other day, I was walking, I was driving to my estate. Everybody I saw on the road was like this. The person walking on the road that was not listening, the person at the gate that is trying to open the gate, the person on a bicycle. Yes, everybody. And so you find parents to constantly like this, and their children are right there. Sometimes your children will talk to you 5 times before you
hear one. We have a caller on the line. All well from Enugu. Is it all well or oil well?
All well
from Enugu. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good morning.
Everybody. Yes, actually, I was following the program, and it's actually an interesting program.
Sorry.
So my own contribution is just the role of the parents to curb this anomaly that is happening in the society. In the most times, parents now, based on the responsibility that they have to, leave their children at the care of nanny or other third-party care, which the person cannot be trusted. There is one thing that my parents used to do when we are small. After school, all of us will come back to their shop, or we will change our school
clothes in the shop.
And follow them. Yes, and follow them in the business of whatever they are doing. My father then was a welder, so he taught all of us how to weld. Understand? So when we are finishing school, our school uniform will be changed, will be washed in the shop. My mom's shop was also very, very close. So all of us will be helping in the activities of the family. Once it is evening, all of us will go back as a family. And you find out that they are always there. And even on Sunday that we don't used to go to work, they will bring every clothes that we will wear for 1 week. We're washing it after church in the evening. So there is no drinking space. So that closeness made us to, that even the people that we grew up with as youth, majority of them are tough, armed robbers, because their parents were not looking after them. But our parents made us responsible. That even how to do all those iron doors, iron protectors. Even at last, we still went to school. I studied in the University of Nigeria, understand? But I know how to do all those hand jobs, all those handworks.
You were engaged.
I was engaged, yes. So that was a lesson to me that my parents actually did well and made us very close. Even my younger sister knows how to weld, even as a woman. Because my father taught all of us how to do that. So that's just my own contribution to that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I like that. And I know that in the course of study and we are understanding more about children and teenagers, right? I now realize that many times why our children are not able to speak to us is because we've not created that environment where they can speak to us very early from the nonsense things that they say. So from age 2, 3, 4, 5, your child comes back from school. They are chatting. They want to say, "Mommy, this is keep quiet. Do this one, do that one," and you lose out on that. Now, when the serious things begin to happen, because they are not used to talking to you, they will not talk to you. Now, for those people who even talk to you, you come with a form of judgment. When your child tells you something, your child is looking for an anchor, your child is looking for support, your child may have made a mistake, and then your child is narrating to you, and you come with all the judgment. You sit on the judgment throne and you invalidate that child's feeling and you judge that child. Tomorrow when the serious thing happens, that child will not tell you. So we as parents also need to open up there are some conversations I've heard from my children that when I was in my heart, I was, but okay, and how did you handle it? I was dying inside, but I didn't want to show that because I know that there's a way I will handle that conversation. If another one happens tomorrow, they will not share with me. So I remember when my daughter was 8 years old in primary school at the time, and she came home and she said that her teacher, male teacher, told her to come and sit on his laps. Yes. I think there was after school and then they were having lessons. I said she should come and sit on his laps. And she looked at him and said, "No, I'm not supposed to do that." Right? And immediately she came home. That day, it did not pass that day. From that gist, we used to say, "How was your day? What happened today?" Blah, blah, blah. She just told me. Then I called the school. I said, "I heard that this so teacher asked my daughter to sit." We had to pursue that matter to a logical end, right? Because she could share. So she's going to be 16 in April by the grace of God. And the sort of thing she tells me, even while my heart is, I'm like, okay, I'll be forming, I'm her babe, because I want to hear more. And then I'll give my own, I'm not judging, I'll just give my own input. Don't you think if it happens like this, don't you think if you say it like this, don't you think if you do it like this and all of that? So I am happy that she's able to call me friend and share some things with me. And it took me back to my own time where I didn't have anybody to share with. My saving grace why I wasn't abused on several counts was the fact that my father had put the fear of God in many people. So they know him as a tyrant. They know that because I have a sharp mouth, they had a feeling that I would report to him. That was the fear that preserved me. If not, there were different instances where family members, uncles, cousins would have abused me. But because I've just mentioned, I would tell my daddy. They didn't know whether I would tell or not. Just that fear of daddy saved me. So how, and I know you guys, you have answered at some of these, saying that you have to stand up and fight for your child. But how do you encourage your children to share with you? Because we have established it here, you cannot be with them all the time. Business has to go on, work has to go on. How do we encourage them to share everything with you?
I think, by being involved in everything, almost everything that they do.
Okay.
Like for example, when my kids were growing up, I watch the cartoons they watch. I sit down and I ask them, why do you
Let me take Chinaza, then I'll come to you. Chinaza is calling from Anambra. Good morning, Chinaza.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Like that.
It's my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I have a story to share.
Okay.
On this topic, actually. For some days now, I've been thinking on this, and thank God you brought it up. I happen to be a victim of this, and thankfully now, my mom doesn't know up till now.
Wow.
And I won't blame her. By the grace of God, I have 3 kids already, all boys. But then what happened is this: she would always leave us in the hands of her friends. There's this they are relatives actually from my side, and when she's going to school, she was actually she went to school in her adult stage. And the boys in this family, they would take me aside, and oh my God, I can't explain all that. But then up till now, she didn't know because she was not close to me. She was close to us, even till now.
Wow.
I wasn't opportune to share all this with her. But then I brought this, it came with me. My children now, I have made a responsibility that whenever they come back to school, the first thing we talk about is how school went. And each time I give them home and goes out, immediately I come back and make sure we talk about how the thing went.
So that I can get to know your children.
Old boy. Sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, they're all boys, but then
it's the same.
They are also country.
Yeah, boys
still get abused. It's the same.
Boys was
so sorry about the story that you shared. I'm happy that
someone is sharing a similar story here. It says I was abused by at age 9 by my sister's husband for 3 years.
Yes.
When I told my husband, my sister, she hated me. Till now, she still hates me, and told everyone I seduced her husband. I still feel hot, and I am 33 now. How does a 9-year-old report an abuse somebody, and you say she seduced somebody? See, even in investigation, there's a way a 9-year-old tells the story that the court will not rely on it, and there's a way he tells the story that the court will say she's vulnerable, she should be protected immediately. A 9-year-old has to be groomed to tell a lie straight about an abuse. Like if I was a 9-year-old, Dramato has to tell me, say it like this, say it like this. For me, but when I'm saying it as a child, you would know.
We know,
they
don't have the vocabulary to express it.
When they're able to repeat their story the way it's happened to different people the same way, you should know. Yeah. Recently, I had to say to an adult against my son that I hear you with your very well articulated and calm voice, but I don't trust you, and I would not take your account against my child. Until date, for my child to be confident in me, I have cut off any relationship with that adult.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he cannot just wake up out of the blue. Not that yesterday, not the day before yesterday, and pick you out of the entire 1,000 people in his life. You know how many people live in my house, come into my house, and go out of my house.
True.
So you have to have done something. And you see, she's 33, she can't get over it.
Yeah,
two traumas in one. An adult abused her for 3 years. Yeah. She did not find the courage to say it. The day she says it, you blacklisted her, hated her, till she can't heal from it. So you are betrayed her as a sister.
Yeah, so true.
How about even if you think she made it up? You give her the impression you're looking into it, and you give her the protection.
I would like to talk to people who have found themselves in situations where, like this, like the people that say you seduced my husband or you seduced my wife or you are the cause.
Now, breast he gets for nice.
No, I want to know the thinking. I would really like to sit down with someone who took the side of the perpetrator, the adult perpetrator than the child. I want to know what they're thinking. What do they think will come out of that kind of decision? Is it that I don't know.
What are you doing? They are in denial of the truth.
For how long?
Some people carry that denial for the rest of, depending on what they put as priority. So for some persons, this marriage is my life. These things I'm benefiting from this marriage, whether it's emotional, financial, security, everything is my life. I cannot be anything outside this marriage. So when that kind of issue comes as, where do I start from? I rather not see it. And that's what happens when they too see their own child, the husband molesting their own child, because the identity is tied to that marriage. See, it's better this child goes. Let me stay with my husband. I'm just telling you the mindset, because she was trying to, it's denial, just pure denial and pure evil. But you were saying something. Yeah, okay, so you were talking about how we can make sure that our kids tell us stuff like that and everything. So I was going with the fact that you watch what they watch, number one. Involve them in your own activities, some of your activities. Like for example, when you are cooking, come join, and then while you are cooking, you are asking questions, you are gisting with them, get to know them and all. And sometimes even when you are patting them, at some point when my son got to 7, 8, usually I beat him. After some time he told me, Mommy, please can you stop beating me? So what I do is I go watch him, and I will like scrub this place, scrub this place, scrub this place. And after some time he told me, Mommy, stop coming. And so
I stopped.
lock the door.
Now he will lock it. He will even lock the door. I remember because of that kind of relationship I really had with them when they were little. I remember there was a time when my daughter was just in primary 1. She came to complain to me that there's this guy in her class that anytime he comes, this small boy, he will just open their uniform and look at their pants. He will just look at their pants and close it. You know, she came and told me, and then I complained to the teacher then, and I said, look at what my daughter came to say. And she said, yes, other girls complained about that boy in that class. And they've invited the parents to come. Just like what Nima said, some parents are available, they are not attentive. These parents, they have been inviting them. They've told them, come, let's have a conversation about your child. They didn't go. They didn't for 2 weeks. I had to go back to the school and I told them, okay, I don't want my child in this class. If this guy's parents are not going to come, I don't want my child in this class anymore. They should move her to another class. That was when they took it serious, because sometimes even we parents, they have been calling parents, come, let's have a discussion. This is what your child is doing. Parents are now like, they are very busy. They will make out time. Once the school calls you about your child, I expect that you neglect every other thing and go and, listen. This is your child. We are talking about your child. This is your future.
Some people don't understand perpetrator's mind. So someone's daughter said that she was drugged. She had gone to a relative's house and she woke up. I found herself in a very funny state, but she remembered that the last thing she had was a juice, packed juice from, the uncle. And so she checked herself and saw blood, and she kept insisting something had happened. And so she went home and told her mom. The mother called the relative, say that one said I didn't do anything. Say I take Quran swear. That one swear. He finished with there,
and that was it.
That was information.
What's that?
The blood there that she saw.
Nobody took anything to anywhere.
Oh my God.
And the girl was specifically told, don't tell Nima.
Okay.
So it took me months to find out. When she was in a very, very bad state and she was just crying mentally, and then she opened up and said, I said, what happened on that day? I traveled. I said, Auntie, you're very well around. My mom said we shouldn't tell you.
She didn't tell you.
So that means she knew what she was doing.
Because we don't go there to come back. I don't have time for
my daughter.
And I will still tell you to swear by the Quran after I've come back. Because I don't understand how people are wired. You see this, we term the people who pay attention to things, we term them busybodies.
Yes.
We know what we ought to do, and the people who will bother to do it, we give them labels, so we sort of to discourage them to do things further. I don't have a relationship with anybody I don't feel safe around. I say to my kids, you don't go to the houses where you don't see me. You don't eat at a house where I just stop to greet and pass. Why would they born you? Why will you? I beat them for such a thing. True. Because those are the concerns that I have. My son and my daughter stayed with a family. They are the kindest to me. Yet I pick for their window. They don't catch me several times.
To be sure,
I don't understand.
everything is safe.
I come back. I will tell them I'll be back at 4, and I'll come back at 12, unannounced. I will go and
just
pick.
Check.
The father will say, this mommy Gufran, she's such a worry what? Because that's how I was raised. My mother's intuition saved 4 girls. My mother would not sleep. My mother would jack. So it saved, and that's how we must be wired. The worst part of parenting is that lax parenting who think that I cannot come and kill myself. If you have a girl child and you don't even dress her well,
cover her.
You don't cover her well. Are you a parent?
That's it. Let's go before we are going.
Okay, I just remember there's something I'd read. Someone had interviewed a serial killer and kidnapper of children and asked him, how do you pick out your victims? He says that they check children who don't seem to have any parental or adult supervision. That you can tell those children, you see in the way that they dress, they don't seem to be dressed properly. You know, you see them playing around and you not see an adult around them. So those are the people, perpetrators find them, they see that they're vulnerable. So it's really on us as well to make sure that these are treasures that we call our treasure. We treat them like what they are.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your contributions. We've learned a lot. Can we respond to our video? No, we are going. Auntie, don't respond to any messages. We have to go. But we need to raise our children with awareness. Very important. We also need to get education for ourselves as well. We need to be very present in their lives, not just there, but be present. We need to also validate their feelings and avoid critical judgment on them so that they are free enough to open up to us so that we can find out if anything is going wrong. And hopefully with everybody's contribution and everybody's work, and God would help us, because at the end of the day we thought, okay, it's still God that will help us at the end of the day. We just pray that the perpetrators that have been caught will be punished to also deter other people from doing this sort of abuse. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye now.